Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast Modern Couples, What Your Therapist Never Told You. My name is Rick Miller,
I'm Lillian Borges.
and we're both therapists who love working with couples. We're thrilled you've joined us today, and today's category is a great one. Relationships and AI. Is ChatGPT your relationship coach?
I love that.
This is your topic, Lillian, and I admit it made me a little anxious, but I am ready. I have a confession.
Oh, juicy, juicy.
2 years
Uh-huh.
after knowing about AI, I've been calling it ChatGPT. And after being corrected a couple times, I finally learned that it's called ChatGPT, which only shows you my age.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus is right.
Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Have you ever had a client coming to you and say, I was so upset this weekend that I went and asked for ChatGPT what it's, yeah, and I went on rampant and
Yes.
have you ever ever?
Um, thank God the
Okay.
last 2 weeks it happened after we decided to record today.
Yes.
It was a gift from heaven. So people really are using it as a tool.
Oh my god, and I think it is the
Yeah.
younger
Yes.
generations, in comparison to
To us.
me. So, whatever younger you're talking about, but yes, I think my clients are, IT, they're coders, and they are very versed
Mhm.
in AIs, but also the younger generations, I think that they are turning to, the AI a lot
Yeah.
for different reasons. But it's interesting because there was one client who came to me and said, I had this dream and I decided to ask ChatGPT
Yeah.
about what
Right.
that means. Because she does, the dream work. She likes doing dream work. And I had a lot of have a lot of experience with that. And I said, don't tell me what it said. Let me tell you first. I want to interpret first.
Right. You want to interpret it. Makes perfect sense.
To my surprise and a little, frustration and pissed off,
Yep.
ChatGPT was very good.
They do a decent job.
Oh my god.
But
Do you think that they can
no,
replace us?
I was just gonna
Why?
say they're not gonna replace us. Oh, this is all the stuff that I wanna talk about because we are real human beings, and you can go to ChatGPT and ask a question, and you will get a very detailed answer that hopefully is accurate. And I've Googled it a couple times, and the answers have been amazing, but I'm also happy to say that my answers have said, "Please consult with a couples therapist to pursue this further." You're getting factual information in a neutral way that isn't including the interpersonal dynamic of a couples therapist. For example, I confront people when I work with couples, not nastily, but assertively. I use what I'm experiencing with my clients in the room. So though the factual information is great, I don't believe that the human being replacement is something that people want. Maybe that's my age talking. What do you think?
I think when it comes to AI, we are dealing with a huge amount of data, right? We are dealing with this huge, and we
Yes.
can tap into that to get that, for diagnosing, for information that you don't have to keep all in our brains.
Which you do, I have to add, but I don't.
What do you mean?
You have one of those minds that you read something and you retain it and you
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Well, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I think that so we can tap into the AI with the
Yeah.
information, but the AI will miss
Mhm.
the reading of the people, the energy in the room,
Yeah.
and the subtleties in the relationships and the transference, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So the transference and
Yeah.
seeing how they respond to you and connecting that to their past and the whole dynamic that the AI misses in real time.
So describe transference for people that may not understand what that term means.
Well, So whenever we are in a relationship with someone, but let's talk about therapy, we might transfer past experiences with important people to the person that you're having therapy with,
But that people do that in partnerships too.
and the partnerships too. Yes.
And a lot of people in romantic partnerships aren't in therapy. So transference still gets played out in a relationship because what you just talked about happens between all couples, which are issues from the past get played out onto the partner based on transference and in previous relationships.
So, the way that I understand transference, it's something, and counter transference is something that happens in a therapy with the therapist. When we talk about that happening with a partner, I would call that projection. You're projecting your issues with your mom, with your dad, blah, 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 to someone else. When it talks specifically about the relationship with the therapist, I call that transference and counter transference.
Okay. And countertransference is when a therapist is experiencing something within themselves while they're sitting with clients based on their own experiences or based on their clients, which ChatGPT doesn't offer.
It doesn't, unless you ask, because you can ask and say, based on my or what you know about me, right? Of course, they have to have more history about you, but based on what your history of me, what would be my hidden agendas, my deepest fears, and ChatGPT will say some things to you that might be interesting. I did that in the past, and I was, really surprised. But one of the things that I see and I have been reading more and more is the confirmation bias. ChatGPT tends to stay and reinforce your idea.
Yes.
And what you're saying, I agree with you.
Mhm.
The therapist will confront and will bring things that you're saying that they're not necessarily seeing. And that is important for us to change, because if we are always being reinforced in how we see things, like ChatGPT does, then we are just doing a disfavor, right? We are not helping people.
So, what people are getting are generalized answers for them that may be containing their anxiety, maybe helping them if they're obsessing or unable to sleep at nighttime, and maybe giving them a frame to think about in the context of their relationship that works really, really well. But like you said, to me, it's missing the bread and butter of the therapy. But a lot of people don't want couples therapy, and if you have a monthly subscription for ChatGPT, it's $20 a month instead of 100, 200, $300 for a therapy visit.
And you are touching something that is really important. So ChatGPT is available at any time. If they wake up in the middle of the night, they can go to ChatGPT.
Yep.
If they don't have money or health insurance, they can go to ChatGPT or go to any
Yep.
online service, right? So it is much more available.
Yes.
And I think that there's a lot of people nowadays that don't have insurance, don't have the resources, and they are suffering. There is also a rising rates of anxiety, burnout, emotional overload. And there is a new generation that is very aware of that
Yes. Yeah.
and using terminology that didn't didn't exist when I was, younger, like a trauma dump
Mhm.
or,
Right. Yeah.
stuff like that was just like, "Ooh, what is that?" So people are very aware of their traumas, very aware of they need therapy, what is that therapy for? And I think that all this it's available now right now, and it's much easier. Well, don't you think?
I keep chuckling because in the old days, in the '80s, I used to have a pager
Oh my god,
for my
yes.
practice, and I worked at a clinic, and what we had, again, the old days, was a notebook of all of our active cases, and the clinician on call would have the notebook of all the patients that came to the clinic, and the beeper would sometimes go off at 2 or 3 in the morning, and, you'd have to deal with clients in crisis. Nowadays, therapists are not, as available as those old days, and younger people are more resourceful. about getting help for themselves. So I'm all for that.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Here's my question. You're doing a great job of describing the benefits and the younger generation that wants things quickly. They want answers. They want resolve. They want their help to come sooner. There's also a lot of online therapy services that are cheaper than private practitioners, and you can switch clinicians as often as you want. Our world is changing, and young people are expecting more quickly. And what does it mean for older therapists, which I'm veering off topic, but also what does it say about what couples therapy is?
Yes. And I think that the field of psychotherapy is changing. And there's a lot of people that goes to TikTok, for instance, for advice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have here, I did some research. Then I read that recent study shows that 83% of mental health advice on TikTok is misleading.
83%. Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, and 14 is really bad, and only 9% of TikTok creators are mental health providers, and have the relevant qualification. So we have to be careful about that. But as we said, the ChatGPT is instant, non-judgmental, free 24/7. That there's this freedom to be 100% honest, and free of consequences. On the other hand, ChatGPT can't regulate emotional responses, for instance.
Right.
So if your patient is suicidal,
Mhm.
is having a panic attack, ChatGPT cannot deal with that. It doesn't grasp really human nuances. There is the ethical issues where the data goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that, a lot of people are feeling disillusioned with psychotherapy and couples therapy and all that.
I wanna put a bumper sticker on my car that says TikTok is my co-therapist.
Why is
Um,
that?
and yes, well, because as you were saying, how many people are going to TikTok for information.
Yes.
And my younger clients are referencing the time that they spend on TikTok, and they get recipes there and they get advice there,
Yeah.
and they will pursue psychotherapy topics there. And you and I have the ability to discern information that we're receiving, in part based on our age and in part based on the work that we do for a living.
Yes.
Whereas other people might find the information that they need, but may not be able to verify, is this true? Is this accurate? Is this helpful?
Exactly.
So that's a problem for a lot of people, although they don't know it. And again, I keep going back to anxiety, OCD, and sleeplessness. These are the people that find something outside of themselves that regulates them because they're getting an answer in that moment and they feel instant relief.
Yeah, but it just reinforces, right, what we know about
Right.
this type of problems. They are constantly trying to get relief,
Yep.
and that maintains the anxiety, and
Yes, it
and
does.
that is not the best thing for them, and that's one of the reasons, that we are talking about this. It is sometimes you're looking for AI
Mhm.
or for TikTok for relief,
Yeah.
and what you're doing is just digging yourself a bigger hole, into your problem, and not really finding a solution for it. So that is a problem, I guess.
I Googled about I think I said, "I'm in a gay relationship. We're contemplating having an open relationship, and one of us wants to and one of us doesn't want to, and what should we do?" And ChatGPT's answer was thorough and really, really impressive. It covered all of the areas that each partner would be experiencing, the vulnerabilities, that communication is essential, that agreements should be made. I mean, I was like, wow, this is the stuff that I'm teaching other mental health clinicians, and it's right here. And at the very end, what it said, this is a delicate process, and couples therapy should be part of the process. And I was like, fantastic. That's so good.
Yes, yes. It is, at the end of the day, we are the human beings are the ones that are making, the decisions. So, for instance, I use a AI to do my notes, but at the end of the day, I am the one that has to read it, edit, and sign my name,
Yeah.
right, at
And
the
that
end.
is my whole feeling and thoughts about AI, which is that it isn't going to replace humanity. It's going to add to our experience. And then we add what we bring to the mix and bring it to life even more. And I work with an editor, and we use AI sometimes to think of a word that she can't think of and I can't think of, and it works out great.
Yes.
When we're typing on a computer and what we're going to type out spells itself out and we don't have to worry about spelling the word, that's AI. And same things with relationship advice.
Yes.
Here's a question. Have you worked with couples who have utilized AI and have had an adverse or bad experience?
No.
Me neither. That's interesting.
No, I did not have couples who used it and had a bad
Hmm.
experience. What I've seen is confirmation bias,
Yes. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So, and that's not even a couple, it is a individual.
Hmm.
And the individual keeps, asking the questions and then get reinforced in that very negative view of the world.
Everyone will get the answer they want.
Yes, right. So again, unless you and when I ask questions to my I say avoid, be brutally honest with me,
Hmm.
avoid the bias as much as you can, and, of course, I'm gonna only get what I ask for, but I try to do that, but I don't think that everybody does, and we can get into this confirmation bias, which is, just reinforce what we already know or who we are, and that, as I said, not helpful. But I think that AI can be a good supplement to therapy in many ways. Journaling, helping them remember things or to prepare for sessions. AI can deliver a cognitive therapy techniques, I think, in a good way. But then again, it will not the advice is sometimes be lacking or not proper. I had sometimes mistakes or feedback from the AI that was not right, and then I corrected and say, "Yeah, oh, yes, I'm sorry, you were right about this." Da da
Hmm.
da. So it is me, and also the AI can't replace the deep intuitive understanding of psychotherapy that we can only
Well,
provide.
again, that's I mean, from what I've done in the last couple weeks, I've asked questions, and what it provides is answers and research in a factual way. But so much of the process of psychotherapy, and particularly couples therapy, is more nuanced and more human and more emotional. And so my work is interpersonal,
Mhm.
and I focus on what's happening between people in the room. And whether it's a group or a couple, I pick up on gestures, I pick up on the look on someone's face when their eyes shift, what happens and why. And these things at this moment in time are not captured with the AI that most people use. There are more advanced features and ways of using AI, but the average person doesn't have those programs. So I'm liking the idea of using it, but not as a replacement, as a supplement to therapy, or using AI and couples therapy simultaneously. I mean, I never considered even using it until this became our topic, and it opened up a world for me, and I'm in.
Oh, yes. No, that I think that is, I'm fascinated by it. I'm just
Yes.
fascinated by it, and all that it can help us be
Yep.
better and more productive as a couples therapist, but also as human beings. I've done attachment tests or a personality tests and put in a ChatGPT, and I asked deep questions, and I learned more about myself, and I thought that was, oh, that's so
That's
cool.
so cool. Are you an AI addict?
Not yet.
Working on it, though.
Working at it, yes. But again, I am because this is the only way that I learn,
Yeah.
right? It is by experiencing it, by reading and trying it and seeing how that works for me as individual and as a professional. And also, this is the only way that I will be able to help my clients when they come and bring a question to me. Oh, I talked to ChatGPT and this is what da da
Yep.
da. So I know the limitations and the good parts of it. So I can help my and guide my patients
So
better.
let me use my client as an example. The one last 2 weeks who used it, he woke up in the middle of the night and had been dealing with his partner with something and didn't know how to word it in a way that would be productive. So he asked AI, "How can I say da 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 in a way that would be helpful to my partner?" And the answer was incredible, and they had this amazing conversation in the morning, and by the time they got to my office, it was done, sealed, dealt with. I didn't have to do anything except hear about how well they did handling it, but unfortunately, he was up in the middle of the night dealing with it. But he had a resource.
Well, I have to disagree with you. I think that the fact that he wanted to address that in a
Mhm.
better way.
That he knew. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, he
Yeah.
knew, just like better not to
Yeah.
come,
That's true.
flaming,
Very
head.
good point.
Yes, right? So he wanted to bring it in a better way. He knew that he was upset. He shouldn't. Where did he learn
Mm.
that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
great. It's a good reframe. I guess after a year of therapy, it really works.
Yes, exactly. And again, and this is exactly why I say that AI is a good complement or supplement to therapy, right?
Yes.
Oh, I know that I need to do this better, but I'm too upset. ChatGPT, how do I say that? And da right?
How about people that use it as therapy and don't have therapy, or couples who are reluctant to go into therapy? We could say due to expense, but we could also say there may be other reasons too. And they're using AI or ChatGPT as a couple's therapist themselves.
Well, so I would say a few things, right? One is be careful with confirmation bias. ChatGPT might just reinforce your
Yeah,
idea
that's the most important.
and might be missing the relationship,
Yep.
stuff. What your partner is responding to that sometimes we don't see, right? We see our response. We don't see that our partners is responding to something that I did and that I'm part of the problem.
Mhm.
So I would
Yeah.
say yes, be careful with the confirmation bias. Be careful with how you ask questions, but I think at least they are doing something to improve. At least they are looking for answers of how to make their situation better. If they do not have resources, if they can't go to
Mhm.
therapy, or if they are afraid to go into therapy, it's better than just not doing anything, I guess.
I agree. And I admire your optimism with it, that you're making space for it and you've used it well for yourself and you've encouraged other people who have used it to experience something positive without replacing your job in the process.
Yeah. No, I don't think that my job will ever be
Right.
replaced. I just think that there are a lot of ethical issues, a lot of other issues that come with the AI, the use of the AI, and we have to be careful about that.
I was thinking about my role as a couples therapist, which again, AI doesn't provide. Frequently, what I will do intentionally is to destabilize a couple.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is add a little bit of tension in the room in order to change the way that a couple deals with things. Instead of having the same old argument and going back and forth, I will do something that will shift how they interact and it throws them off for a minute and then they need to regroup and something in that experience changes how their system operates. So AI is not going to provide that. I'm going to provide that.
So that's interesting, right? Because when you were saying this, you were in the room with the two
Mhm.
people or online, but
Yes, or online.
you are with them and you are relating to them, right? As a
Yes.
couple. When you use AI, it's usually one person, right, that asks the question. So it's a one person
Mhm.
system. already. And they are asking about, I have a problem, this problem with my patient.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry. I have a problem with my partner, and this is what I'm having. This is the problem. And the AI is going to reply
Mhm.
based on what you're saying, which is you as an individual have a problem with someone else, right? So the AI will be somehow missing,
Tailored.
yes,
Yeah.
tailored. And that is the confirmation bias that can be difficult and detrimental to the
Or
couple.
a partner will enter information about their partner or their partner's assumed diagnosis, again, to confirm what they believe to be true.
If the couple can bring a question together, we are trying to move to another city. Is it going to be good for us? My partner is da da da. The other partner is so. Putting a question that is the problem that the two of them are facing instead of my partner is a problem, because then the ChatGPT will try to confirm the bias, even though it will suggest new ways to communicate and be better about it.
Well, I mean, when I think about what people are looking for, frequently couples that come to therapy are looking to have their partners exposed and
Yeah.
to get them in trouble, and they think that that's gonna be what solves the problem, and
Yeah.
AI will frequently give that information to people. Whereas a decent couples therapist may provide some of that, but will
Yes.
also provide a
Yes.
challenge simultaneously.
So, what suggestions that you could give to couples who are using ChatGPT or AI as a supplement or as a therapist for themselves? What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, using it for an informational source and using it, as you said, for cognitive behavioral therapy or information is a great way of using it, and also asking questions like my client who wanted to be productive in wording a concern that he was feeling inside of himself with his partner. To be very selective and careful how people use it is a wonderful, amazing supplement to a relationship. And if people can't do couples therapy, I'm in, but I'm really digging the combination of both. And I wouldn't have said that a week ago.
Good for you.
Yeah. How about you?
Yes, I think that I would suggest that every time that they talk to ChatGPT, they ask for unbiased opinion. That
Mm.
the AI, as much as possible, would try to avoid confirmation bias, and they give their brutal truth. I would
Hmm.
say for myself,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
also that ChatGPT can be a supplement to therapy. And if you're really in trouble, you should find a professional that will help you.
Yes.
And there are ways to find professionals that can work on a sliding scale. Ask ChatGPT, they will find it for you. Don't trust everything that you see or hear on TikTok. Be a little bit more aware of not everybody being a mental health professional, and that can be difficult. Also, to not overdiagnose yourselves, because a lot of it is just sometimes just normal how we react to each other, and then there is a overdiagnosis happening. I think I do say go look and use ChatGPT. Is free, is 24/7, but be aware of its limitations. And if you're still struggling, don't hesitate to ask ChatGPT of who you can find that will be helpful to you
I agree.
and to your needs and your limitations of insurance or money or time. You will find someone that could be helpful to you.
Great. And a wonderful topic. And thank you for bringing it up.
Yes, I'm fascinated by it, so I'm glad that you accepted.
It
Yes.
is. So maybe we'll do more. So that's it for today. Thanks as always for joining us for Modern Couples, What Your Therapist Never Told You. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.